Namaste, angels. Yesterday, the more etheric angels, higher vibration angels, asked that I do 2 readings, one for each archetype of quote unquote karmic situations. Now, those of you who watch me, with any sort of regularity know how I feel about the word karmic, that it doesn't mean, it's not this derogatory term that it's become from people who basically didn't know what they were talking about and just, used it and used it and used it until misusing it is now the norm. But I'm using it in that derogatory term, and that's why, as many have come to understand it, and that's why I put it in quotes, karmic situations through which the divine feminine will go. Yesterday I did the divine masculine only reading and posted that one, and had anticipated doing both, but life interrupted. And so I never got to us, and I'm here to do it now. I'm looking forward to it myself. So some of the cards I'm beginning with, or all of the cards I'm beginning with actually, are not very surprising. I'm starting with the Queen of Winter. Oh, look, and they're showing me, I didn't do this on purpose, life experience, which is the Tower in the traditional tarot. In my divine masculine reading, this came up a couple of times too, and I'm not surprised that it's here. It's about our foundations being shattered in, whatever capacity, whatever that may mean for us as individuals. 9 of Winter here behind the Queen of Winter, which I'm starting, which is all about cutting out what no longer serves you and or humanity, the higher good. That's the Animal Tarot. With the Angel Tarot, I'm going to begin with the 9 of Earth, which as it relates to relationships and maybe romantic, love and things of that nature, romantic relationships can be a card of, indicating that one is single. And for us in this reading today, as I was shuffling, I first came to this. I shuffled this deck before the Romance Angels. And I said, oh, we've got to spend some time by ourselves, maybe going within. I'm like, but they gave me the Knight of Earth, not the Hermit, which is more going within and like really seeking enlightenment. This is more getting to know yourself and like yourself and hopefully love yourself so that you can be loved by somebody else. And then I did the Romance Angels last. And you see I'm beginning with Love Yourself First. I cannot tell you, I think 3 or 4 times I shuffled this card opposite Unrequited Love. And probably around the 2nd or 3rd time I said, we are our own unrequited love. That's why we have to spend time with ourselves. We're not only imbalanced, our inner masculine and feminine, we've got something going on there too, but that's not our only situation. We are our own unrequited love. That's why we have to get to know and like and love ourselves first before the masculine will, the way we would hope, or the way intended, at the outset of all this by the universe. So with that, let's get started. Again, with the 9 of Earth, I expect that ours will be not as long as the Divine Masculines. Theirs went about an hour because I stopped to tell them a story. I don't plan on doing that here. If one comes up, I will though. So the 9 of Earth, enjoying life's little luxuries, spending quiet time alone, and successful self-employment. And opening to the Knight of Earth, who's loyal, dedicated, honorable, and kind, and always reaches his goal. Doesn't say that here, but that is the case with the Knight of Earth. He is the slow and steady, wins the race sort of thinker of the knights. Time to buckle down and get things done. Honor your commitments. You have a guardian angel. And I think our commitments, or included in our commitments, is this soul commitment to being the divine feminine, to being another soul's sacred wife. I think that's, to what we need to buckle down and get done. Because why do I think that? Well, because it came to me, but also this week in the love reading, that was a factor that the divine feminine had to sort of, immerse herself in her role this week. By the way, the time period for this reading is to take us throughout, into the new year. So throughout the rest of December and the rest of this year 1, so that we enter the year 2, which can be about partnership, romantic and otherwise, and certainly faith, and beginning to manifest in a more tangible way those thoughts that began to become our reality, right, when they were ones. When we see ones, think of ones, that it's like a message from the universe that our thoughts are becoming our reality, right? Watch your thoughts, because if they're negative, that's what you're going to manifest. So as we progress to 2s, now they're starting to take form. So that's what's going to be happening next year. So this reading is going to take us through that period. And opening to the 8 of Earth, all about being rewarded for your work. Right? The 7 of Earth is putting in the work, planting the seeds, and the 8 of Earth is reaping the harvest. Skilled work is rewarded. Learning all there is to know about a topic, maybe even going back to school. Some of us could be doing that too. That could be one of the things we're working on while we're spending time alone working on us. And opening to ego, a false sense of entrapment, being overly focused on material things, negative or fear-based thoughts. Ego is the devil in the traditional tarot, and it is about feeling stuck. Not really being stuck, because in truth, we can never be imprisoned by another. We are in control of our own destiny. There's people who are in physical prisons, like in jail, who still consider themselves free because they're their mindset. And that's sort of what this card is about. It's free your mind and the rest will follow. As it relates to the 9 of Earth, it's freeing yourself of this codependent need to have someone else love you as opposed to yourself. Or in lieu of yourself, because that doesn't work. Nine of Earth, I'll go one more. And it's the King of Fire, who is motivational, idealistic, charismatic, focus, communicate with vision, and be a leader. Take advice from someone creative. The King of Fire is a Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries, and is the quintessential divine masculine of the tarot. This, however, can be our energy, whether we are, female or male. It's not gender specific. We can be taking on this energy of the King of Fire. And opposite the 9 of Earth, I'd say this is about independence. A female or feminine archetype being, a leader or taking the lead in her own life. Nine of Earth. I'm going to cut. And we've progressed to the 10 of Earth, a very happy family life, financial security, seeing magic in the little things in life. And the overall energy is the 4 of Water, missing an opportunity, discontentment or boredom. Open your eyes to the possibilities. This is a card of disappointment, being unimpressed with our options, with our possible choices, and sometimes being closed-minded to them, and that's why we miss them. We didn't realize what was before us and, what we were perhaps being offered. We jump to conclusions and maybe close ourselves off. That's what the 4 of Water is about. I'm going to lay this first spread, as I typically would, my traditional trademark spread of 9 with the masculine archetype. So our masculine half, perhaps, and or, a masculine energy with which we are dealing on this side, and the feminine over here. The Two of Earth. Too much going on at once. The need to make a decision. Consider a more playful approach. This can be about being the balance between like work and play. Finding time to be that wife, but also an individual. Still that Nine of Earth too. It can be about working too much as well, and maybe not having a social life and being too focused on the material and money. And it's also deja vu from hell for me. I gotta be honest and throw that out there too. When I see the Two of Earth, the Two of Pentacles, a lot of people like it. I think because they like twos, maybe, and I like twos too. Gemini is all about two. But it reminds me, or it gives me the sense and the feeling of going around in circles and having been in this place before. Like, that's what I mean by deja vu from hell. And like, why can't we seem to get past this area here? It's like we always get stuck here. And it reminds me of that song by Rihanna, Take a Bow. When it's like, ugh, this is like a rerun. What else is on? You know, that's the feeling I get from this card. It can also be about the need to make a decision too. Perhaps a decision that has to do with the material or financial. Or something like whether or not to go to school, or something, a practical matter, as they say. Surrounded by the Wheel with Archangel Michael. A time of positive change. The situation suddenly moves forward and fortune is on your side. The Wheel for me represents the planet Jupiter, which rules the sign of Sagittarius. And is also connected to the fixed signs for me. Taurus, maybe. Leo. Scorpio. Aquarius. And it's definitely about where we had been stagnant in an area of abundance, perhaps the financial and material. All of a sudden, things get moving in a positive direction. They move forward, and we are no longer. Subconscious. It's the Three of Earths. So another progression here from the 2 to the 3. The power of creativity, recognition for very high quality work. Be a team player. The Three of Earth can be about a party of three, not necessarily romantic, but that may be part of it too. Love triangle, perhaps with a direct earth sign, or at work. Maybe we got to decide as to whether or not to date or continue dating or something, somebody at work, or that we met at work. It's also about like material and finances that we earned, that we're due. This is about promotion. And as it relates to the universe, it can be about ascension, right? It's about promotion. Like the boss has a watchful eye on you, and you need to keep up the good work because you're about to be rewarded. You are going to get a raise, a bonus, something like that. And that can be what you're deciding about work. Like, can I keep doing this? I'm working so hard. Can I keep putting all my energy into this? I'm due maybe a Christmas bonus. We're almost up to, and then all of a sudden, maybe it didn't look like it was going to happen. Then all of a sudden it does with the Wheel. That's just an example for some. Here on the feminine side, it's the 8 of Fire. Events moving at a fast pace. So very much like the Wheel for me. Something was stagnant. Now all of a sudden it takes off. Delays are over. Many things are happening at once, right? Wands are cards of movement. When I see this, I think of like sticks being hurled at somebody, or sometimes I picture, especially with one of my other decks, Cupid's arrows being hurled at someone. It can be about communication as well. Another 8, right? The 8 of Fire here, sitting atop another 8. This is Justice, Major Arcana card Justice, which represents the sign of Libra, or perhaps other air sign. Gemini, Aquarius. And it's opposite the Wheel, which I said could also represent Aquarius. Fair and just decisions. Do what you know is right. Stand up for your beliefs. And in the feminine subconscious, the King of Fire is back. Motivational, idealistic, ambitious, and charismatic is the King of Fire. He is also an Aries, Sagittarius, or Leo, or perhaps a Scorpio attached to the fixed signs here and the wheel, and ruled by Mars along with Aries. It's another 8. It's crowning. Skilled work is rewarded. Learning all there is to know about a topic. Maybe even going back to school. So I said here this could be a decision about going to school or something. And now it sits here next to the 8 of Earth. Furthering your career in some way. Maybe moving on. Again, maybe you were thinking, I got to get out of this job. It's going nowhere. Nothing's happening. I haven't even gotten my raise or my promotion, my bonus. And then boom, here it is. All of a sudden. As it relates to a relationship, it can be the same thing. This is going nowhere. I keep putting all kinds of work and thinking I'm planting seeds, putting effort into it, but I just feel like we keep coming back to the same spot and we're not progressing. And then all of a sudden, boom. And that will be based on karma. This is my karmic situations reading. Jupiter is the planet of karma. And when our karma is good, or when we're on the right side of karma, is when this type of karmic energy, as in of the universe, shows up, the wheel, to push us along, push us across the finish line. Here at the root, unity with Archangel Sandalphon, which is the high priest or the Hierophant. Traditional viewpoints or methods, spiritual organizations, seek out mentors and like-minded friends. Unity. First, I got to get this out. Okay, what came to me is that this is about unity between the divine feminine, the unity of among the divine feminine collective. This is about us coming together as the feminine archetype, perhaps as women, maybe for the most part, and a sisterhood. That's the word I'm looking for. Not women. It's not gender specific. Sisterhood is what I was trying to come up with. And learning from one another and teaching one another with these together. That may very well come into play for us over the next couple of weeks. Now, are, all of us going to get together, the thousands? That's unlikely, I would say. I guess I'm sure it's possible. But unlikely, but maybe in our own little worlds, we'll begin to seek other feminine energy with which to surround ourselves, positive feminine energy of our vibration or higher. This card can also be about the enlightenment. Seems like it must be about healing too, with Raphael behind me like that. The enlightenment into which we could be coming with this learning. This learning doesn't have to be physical school. It can be metaphorical. Especially going back to the card with which I started, the 9 of Earth. And learning about ourselves, learning to like ourselves, learning to love ourselves. These can be connected. All of these, including unity of the high priest. As it relates to a relationship, where relationships have not been working, all of a sudden they are. Where they have not been moving, there has been no promotion, no progress, all of a sudden there is. With this little triangle, it's very Trinity-like major arcana energy that comes through to support us. The 3 8s 2 equals 6 equals love, right? 8 times 3 is 24 equals 6 equals love. Could definitely be about love. At the heart of the matter, the need to make a decision. Being unable or unwilling to make a decision, a stalemate, pretending there's no problem. So now we have these two potential cards of the need to make a decision, or sometimes the Two of Air can be a decision that we're awaiting. Sitting next to Justice, with this being my karmic energy reading, some of us could be waiting for example, a divorce. We are ending a unity or a union with another, a 3D legal union with another party. Maybe nothing was moving on our divorce. Maybe we weren't getting anything. We weren't set to get anything. The spouse was fighting us on what money we were going to be able to take with us out of that relationship that's being dissolved. And all of a sudden that moves forward in a positive direction. Or all of a sudden our divorce was final, where it took months or it took years even. Sometimes it takes years. All of these are possibilities that are coming from this spread. And it's all a learning experience too. It's all a learning experience to help to build us. It's toward our growth and character in moving forward and getting to know ourselves and getting to like ourselves and getting to love ourselves. For the first time in whatever amount of time, I'm going to be, somewhat alone. My divine masculine isn't with me in the physical, and I'm going to finally be separated from this other partner that I had, this other, this husband. He will become an ex-husband, and that'll be dissolved. And then I'll have to spend some time with me, having a good time with me, liking me, loving me. For others, it doesn't have to be legality, but it can be other forms of legality, not just divorce. Some other sort of maybe money for school, scholarship. There's a higher institution becoming involved. The federal government is going to send you a grant or something, enable you to go to school to, physically learn in a more definitive, by definition kind of way. A more literal kind of way. And that was stuck before. Nothing was happening. There's movement there too, all of a sudden. And you taking the leader role in your own life. All right, let's clarify these. Let's see what other meanings we can get out of with what the feminine will be dealing over the next few weeks. I think it's like 3 weeks left in the year. Beginning again with the Queen of Winter in the Animal Tarot. Experienced, self-sufficient, brilliant, and funny is the Queen of Winter. All your life experiences, this is what I was just talking about, this being the education, right? The life experience is the education. All your life experiences have prepared you for this moment of truth. It's time to declutter your home. Clear away situations that aren't working for you anymore, and disengage from people from people who create more drama than happiness. People that are not of our vibration or higher, people that try to lower our vibration to theirs, with whom we no longer vibe, is from whom we need to disengage. And that can be what this is about too. And opening to the Four of Winter. Thoroughly think things through before making a decision. So we've got 3 cards in this reading thus far about having to make a decision. Continuing to overanalyze isn't going to get you any closer to a resolution, but meditation and prayer will bring the answers you seek. Queen of Winter. And the Seven of Spring. Be assertive, believe in yourself, and don't let anyone take away your personal power. Trust that your inner guidance is true and follow it completely. Queen of Winter. Oh. It's jumped right out. It's the Princess of Summer, a Page of Summer, Page of Cups. Sensitive, kind, open-hearted, and inexperienced is the Princess of Summer. You can expect to kindle a new romantic relationship or a close platonic friendship. You may suddenly receive an emotional message, right? All of a sudden, things are moving in the area of communication. And you may even get invited to a social event by someone. The other card to which I otherwise would have opened is renewal or judgment in the traditional tarot, which for me represents the planet Pluto and therefore Scorpio. It's time to get clarity about your life purpose and make changes so that you're on the path most divinely suited to you. Forgive what has been without judgment and fearlessly embrace what's to come. That's at what the Queen of Winter is awesome. Forgive what has been without judgment. That's her specialty. Fearlessly embrace what's to come. She's brilliant and self-sufficient. She can face it alone, fearlessly, independently. 9 of Earth. Again. So that's what we're being groomed for, feminine. To prepare ourselves for maybe 2. Right? To prepare ourselves for 2. Partnership. Now this card is also where it relates to work and things of that nature. The universe wanting to elevate us, give us promotion, ascension. The boss has a watchful eye on you when judgment shows up. And we are to keep pushing forward, keep working hard. Don't slack off now because you're about to get that, raise you've been working so hard toward. As it relates to relationships, romantic or otherwise, it's about a crossroad, right? And that could be the decision. Where do we go from here, if anywhere? Is this the end of the road for us? Renewal or judgment. And the 5 of Autumn. Focusing upon the negative or worrying about money or your career can block your progress. Because your trust and faith are at a low point right now, it's not the best time to start your own business or to become self-employed. So this is about lack of faith, lack of confidence, just lack, plain old lack. For me, it's about trust issues, fear of abandonment, fear of being alone, as opposed to being, Queen of Air, like self-sufficient, independent, ready to face the world. Right, the 5 of Earth is the opposite of that. The Unity card, the Hierophant card, the High Priest, is also a 5 of Earth, which represents the sign of Taurus or other Earth sign, Capricorn, Virgo. But it too is about, again, not wanting to surround ourselves with lack or low. Right? Low vibe, low confidence, that diminished returns. That's what we got to fix when those cards show up. I'll go one more. It's the 7 of Autumn. The planning, resources, and effort you've invested in your dream will reap great rewards. In the meantime, have patience and meditate on your next steps. Renewal or judgment. I'm going to cut. And it's the King of Autumn now, who is compassionate, accomplished, charismatic, and grounded. Everything's going to turn out great. Projects will be stunningly successful. Exciting new career opportunities are possible, and money or resources that come your way will be invested wisely. The overall energy here is the Ace of Spring. I'm just going to move these over a little bit. So everything's completely in frame. Now I'm doing what we can do for ourselves up here. I almost forgot that's what I was doing. What is surrounding us here. And what God wants us to know here, the universe wants us to know. And at the heart of the matter, specifically what Archangel Michael would like us to know. Here atop the Two of Earth, the decision you need to make is to go for your new beginning. If you're tossing that around, should I stick with the old because I have a fear of the unknown? Should I not take a chance on maybe the same person again? Maybe it is the divine masculine. Should I not give him another chance, not take another chance? Because we typically just end up in the same space over and over and it never seems to work out. Ace of Summer. New job or no? Yes, Ace of Summer. Like, so whatever this new start, fresh new start, that's like a divine blessing. Look at the dove here, right? The white dove. It's very Pentecostal for me. And the Pentecostal dove is about rebirth, resurrection, right? That's what the celebration of the actual Pentecost was, celebrating the fact that Jesus and other quote unquote saints had been resurrected. So it's about rebirth. This can be a Scorpio, being the Ace of Summer and sitting here atop the wheel, which represents, again, for me, the fixed signs. This can be a Scorpio, somebody of that nature, who could reinvent themselves or allow themselves to transform when they're allowing Pluto or judgment, renewal, to work, for them and through them. This is the beginning of a new emotional experience for you. It may be the first blush of romantic love, the rebirth of a current relationship, or the awakening of spiritual gifts and insights. And can really be all of those from what we've seen so far and what I've, said so far and felt so far. The education of the experiences, the enlightenment, that can have to do with ascension. The Judgment card, receiving a promotion, can have to do with ascension. The Three of Earth, receiving a promotion, a bonus, being, a raise, can have to do with ascension. So all that can be about the spiritual gifts and the, how our life experience sort of. I kept the page of, I didn't just realize I kept the page of summer out. I guess it was meant to be out here. How those experiences build us and our character. And it can also be a reconciliation of a relationship, especially, again, having seen the Judgment card or renewal and seeing the wheel, which can be all of a sudden a relationship was stagnant, all of a sudden it's moving. So what we can do for ourselves is go after our new beginning when it's presented to us, whatever it is. Aww. And atop the eight of Earth, and skilled work being rewarded, maybe you're being rewarded with a Scorpio. That's possible because the Queen of Summer queens tend to represent the fixed signs. And again, Scorpio would be the fixed sign of the element of water, and it is crossing the wheel. But you could be being rewarded with any sort of love and emotion, and again, an elevation of your spiritual gifts when you see the Queen of Summer. This is a time of deep emotions and heightened intuition. And you can trust that intuition completely. Be mindful that you don't ignore your own needs while caring for others. So again, this is about loving yourself, putting yourself forward, liking yourself, and being rewarded for that, reaping the benefits of that. What else can we do? Oh, it's the Eight of Spring, atop the Eight of Spring. So just trust that things are moving. And if you can't see it, trust that things are happening in the background. Also expect communication. Here atop, oh, this is funny. Atop the wheel is another 2 of earth, another 2 of autumn. Right? We have the one here that's under the ace of summer. That was the card with which we began. And now we've got another one. So this can definitely have to do with deciding whether or not to reinitiate a romantic relationship or to enter a relationship, period. But yeah, definitely reinitiating too. Like it was stagnant, it was dead, there was nothing happening. We kept ending up in the same place, deja vu from hell, and now things are moving forward. You may be under stress because of multiple jobs or too many responsibilities for one person to manage. It's important to balance your work and personal life and to bring a spirit of fun to all you do. So this is saying like shake it off and chillax and not take life overly seriously. Try to maintain that place of being lighthearted and like putting your baggage down. Also surrounded by the world here atop justice. This can definitely be like divorce or something that was long and maybe difficult, trying, at least at times, that you should have left alone a long time ago and you just couldn't. So maybe a relationship, maybe a job, maybe, you know, your living environment, whatever. You're finally getting out now because of karmic, as in of the universe, energy. Congratulations on successfully accomplishing what you've set out to do. You've made it through the challenges and incorporated the lessons, right? Keep talking about that. And it's very clearly stated in our spread here that this is about education and lessons in life. You've incorporated those lessons that life has offered you with grace and courage. So this is about the feminine facing life independently, fearlessly, on her own, and making it through. The world comes through. Now, some people, many, you know, traditional practitioners of tarot. I'm no traditional anything. Certainly not a traditional practitioner of tarot. But you will hear many say that the world is about, like, the world being your oyster. The world is at your feet. The world is in your hands. You know, you can have it. And sometimes I feel that too about the world. But for the most part, it's about making it through a long, trying time. And we know we overstayed our welcome, whether it was, again, in a living environment or with a relationship, a friendship, a job. We know we stayed too long and we should have gone. And so now the universe is here to push us over the finish line. What does God want us to know? Here atop the 3 of earth, the Prince of Spring. So this could be Jupiter yet again, especially sitting here under the wheel. The Prince of Spring is a Sagittarius, Aries, or a Leo. I was hearing Scorpio again, and I'm like, I'm trying to say the other one. And I thought something else was going to be said. But yes, Scorpio too, because again, Mars is a ruler of Scorpio. An opportunity arises that needs your attention right away. Moving quickly is important, yet there's nothing you can't handle if you follow your inner guidance. Atop the Unity card is the Hermit. So again, we need to focus some on our spirituality and enlightenment, becoming enlightened about a situation. Like we are going to be our own teacher and student. And it's also healthy and okay to seek out mentors, other teachers, and potential students for us. So again, maybe getting together with other divine feminine and learning from each other and teaching one another. This can also be a lawyer for this divorce here or legal situation. Take time for contemplation, to retreat and to go within. Be a beacon for others on their path to spiritual enlightenment. And atop the King of Fire, it's the 10 of Autumn. I was thinking about, when I said other legal situation, I was thinking this could be some other way that somebody's due some money, like 10 of Earth kind of money, 10 of Autumn kind of money. Some other sort of judgment, maybe from work. Maybe you had a situation at work, you were injured at work or something, and you're finally getting like workman's comp payout or something like that too, can be coming through now for the feminine. This can be a lump sum of money, definitely. Contentment comes from knowing that your finances are secure and your family's material needs are taken care of. It's important to honor traditions and to have pride in your heritage and the accomplishments of your ancestors. So we saw in my other readings too, though, recently that we were going to be having abundance upon abundance upon abundance. So I think the message here also for the feminine is to remain positive in that, even when she feels like, again, nothing's happening and she doesn't see how she's going to make it on her own. There's a fear of the unknown. There's a fear of being alone. I always had a quote unquote leader with me, the ex-husband, the ex-boyfriend, even though that relationship is over. I'm going to miss that part. I'm going to miss their protection. I'm going to miss their whatever it is. You know, like, I don't know if I can do this stuff myself. We can. That's why the king of fire is here representing us and our energy, because we can. That's why the queen of air or winter was here representing us, because we can. And that's what she does. That's why justice is here. That's the queen of winter yet again. And our overall energy of the ace of spring. There's going to be something about which we're passionate that we are meant to go after. And it can be a person, possibly a relationship. Whatever it is, it's something about which we're passionate. Even if it's work, we're finally going to be getting to do the work that we enjoy, that we so love. And we just, can't be afraid to go after it. That's what the universe says here. The heart of the matter, and specifically from Archangel Michael, or maybe with regard to this decision that we're making and or awaiting, the Chariot. This is successful. This is victory. So if you are in some sort of court battle, it already was clear to me that you were going to be on the winning side, but this is like further confirmation. This is a major card of victory. You can successfully balance various or opposing energies at once through determination and focus. You earn the rewards and recognition that you're receiving. And it's crossing here where I was talking about earnings and the 3 of Earth, saying it's confirming we've earned the rewards. It's sitting here under the 8 of Earth, which is also about earning the rewards. It is sitting here next to the 2 of Autumn and refers to balance. You're successfully balancing. It's crossing yet another 2 of Earth, and again is referring to balance. So this means at the end of the day, the feminine, like the masculine did in his reading, the reading I did for him, ends up in the driver's seat of his own life, in control of his own life. That's our focus. And I guess the decision part here would be for the feminine, like, do I get in the car and, and turn the ignition? Can I do this myself? That's the question you're asking yourself. See what the romance angels have to add to this. Beginning with love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. Oh, what in the world? How did this 9 of Autumn? This is so bizarre. I swear I didn't I don't know how this ended up here. I think it's hilarious though, because I started with the 9 of Autumn from another deck when I began this reading. Your success has brought you financial security and the reward of much deserved time off to enjoy your own company. You may suddenly have a brilliant idea for business or self-employment that will be very successful. So that's for us too. I'll put it here with the Princess of Summer. And that opens us or reveals children. Your love life is being affected by children. These may be your children. They may be your divine masculine's children. They may represent you, right, in your relationship with your parents or your own children. Right? Their relationship with you. This could be siblings also, I've found. Love yourself first and opening to honeymoon. Enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. This can be about Christmas, Hanukkah, any other holidays coming up. Love yourself first, and opening to retreat. It's time to disconnect from the world. Love yourself first and trust. This situation is calling for you to have faith. 2. We've had 3 2s here. The 2 of air and 2 2s of autumn. And now trust, right? 2s are about faith and trust. Maybe trust in yourself. Trust that you have the strength. Trust in loving yourself. Love yourself first. I'll do one more. And it's calling in your soulmate. Your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you together. Love yourself first. I'm going to cut. Deception. Someone is wearing a false self-mask in this relationship. And that deception can be us about ourselves or toward ourselves, like not the lack of confidence and everything. So to sing with joy. What we can do for ourselves. What is surrounding us and is sort of quote unquote karmic and of the universe or other people over whom we have no dominion or control. We just have control of ourselves. We are in the driver's seat of our lives. I did that out of order, that last card just now. So interested to see what's going to turn up. Atop the Ace of Summer. Yep. And the 2 of Earth. Make the effort. So this is leaping at your new beginning. Should I go for it? Yep, you sure should. Make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. And if this is a renewed relationship or a new relationship, the romance angels guide you to go for it. Confidently. Atop the Queen of Summer and the 8 of Earth. Separation. Time apart from your partner is on the horizon. The Queen of Summer, again, can be a Scorpio. And separation, death to something that doesn't work anymore. All right, we're separating ourselves from that. It's crossing that Libra, that justice. So again, this can be some sort of divorce. And whether it's, even if it's not like the divorce in the traditional sense, you could be married to any kind of situation or relationship, right? And we're divorcing ourselves of it. Separation. But it has nothing to do with our romantic relationship with our divine partner, because we also have atop the 8 of Spring, twice over, reconciliation. Someone from your past is returning to your life. And we have it here mirroring the Ace of Summer, which says the same thing. Ace of Summer is about reconciliation. Surrounding us, atop this other 2 of Autumn and the Wheel, forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. So healing past issues like karma helps us going forward, right? Once we release that karma, we release this Jupiter, right? The karmic planet, then going forward, our lives are bettered. Here, speaking of past life situations and karma, here atop the world and justice is past life relationship. For a bunch of us, this is a divorce of some sort. Even if you were not legally married, this is the end of something that, to which you were married. It's over. And we have it here crossing the separation, this past life relationship. What does God want us to know? Atop the Prince of Spring and the 3 of Earth is religious factors. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path, because this is about ascension and elevation and promotion. That's the religious factor. Spiritual enlightenment, spiritual growth. Atop the King of Fire and the 10 of Autumn, engagement. Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment, mirroring where I just said it's about ascension and promotion. There's the reconfirmation from the romance angels. And it's going to be a really awesome, like, reconciliation. And it's not going to be 2 of Autumn anymore. It's going to be 10 of Autumn, like completely emotionally fulfilling. Here atop the Hermit and the Hierophant is very soon. Clearly decide what you want. Sitting here underneath the need to make a decision. Underneath the need to make a decision is clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. This is like deciding to be happy. Deciding to love yourself and open yourself to love, to the love of others, and to be able to love others. And atop that decision, the 2 of Air and the Chariot is Sagittarius. You deserve love. You are lovable. Shooting the arrow right at us, crossing the 8 of Wands, which I said reminds me of Cupid's arrows coming at us, and love being renewed and coming at us. This is to what we can look forward over the next 3 weeks and how we can expect to begin the new year if we follow through on the guidance. For the 3rd time, our advice from the angels is the 9 of Earth. Enjoying life's little luxuries, spending quiet time alone, and successful self-employment. So if we didn't get it yet, feminine, we are to enrich and enhance and improve the relationship we have with ourselves. Also, awakening with Archangel Gabriel. So more about ascension. This represents the planet Neptune for me, which can be confusing, and about decisions that we have to make, and making sure that you're really seeing things the way that they are and not being presumptuous. Like our 4 of water. 4 of water overall energy can, you know, imply we're being presumptuous. We're not really seeing things as they are. So you're encouraged by the major arcana to take a step back and look at the big picture. Make sure you're seeing the big picture. And it's important to be your true whole self in that moment and not be deceptive to you about you and what you want. When I picked up this 4 of water, by the way, there's another 7 of earth underneath it, also upright. Seeds well planted, a temporary pause in action, unnecessary worry. Like, just because you don't see things happening doesn't mean that they are not. We got reconfirmation upon reconfirmation of the fact that things are very much moving right now. Also upright, when I picked that up, the 6 of water. Memories from your history or childhood, issues regarding children perhaps, and romanticizing the past. Well, the 6 of water is very much so a soulmate or past life relationship card of the tarot. And things are going well in that area, because also upright behind that is the 6 of air. Things are looking up. It's the end of a difficult situation. You may even be taking a trip. And underneath that is the 9 of water, also upright. Your wish comes true. Concerns fade away. You have a love of life. And also upright, this is the last one. And what a note on which to end. It's the sun with Archangel Uriel. Happy outcome. Brilliant new ideas that lead to success. If you have confidence in yourself, which is what I just said. If we follow the guidance and have the confidence, this is how we're going to enter the new year. We've just like read our fortune, our collective divine feminine fortune. It ends here with the sun, which also represents the sign of Sagittarius, as it relates to the tarot, and, you know, perhaps Jupiter, and God for me, 19, but also Leo and Aries, and that, you know, sort of King of Fire kind of energy, which again can also be Scorpio. And speaking of that, the page of water is under here, but it's upside down. So that's why I stopped in the sun. But speaking of that, there's been a lot of air and water, which is again reminiscent of not only God the Father, but Mother too. And so like the divine couple of all time, at least as far as I'm concerned. Did I put our advice over there? Okay, from the animal tarot to the to our masculine side. This is all for us, the feminine. The Queen of Spring, so perhaps having to do with our masculine, focusing on us and or his own feminine side half. It can be a situation with any possible direct fire sign, because actually in their reading, they had a couple of parties of three too, one of which was the Three of Wands. So there could be some sort of like a love triangle or other relationship involving a fire sign specifically, and that can be why this is turning up here too. I'm also getting, hearing like a bunch of things at once. So this Three of Earth here, it can similarly be a relationship, a love triangle, or some sort of situation that involves not only the three people, but again, perhaps specifically an earth sign and or somebody at work or that was met at work. Can definitely be some situations involving earth, water, and air. Some of you have to, some of us, this is for me too, some of us have to consider separating from a relationship that perhaps involves earth, water, maybe air. There's some choices between, like this, the choices too, between water and earth. And there has to be a choice to separate from one, or it's going to happen to you, or in a situation that involves you. You're one of the three, and on the masculine side, it's happening. Somebody is being eliminated from one of those kind of scenarios. Where I'm saying eliminated, and then it might involve the divine feminine. We have to be willing and able to release even our union. I'm sorry that everything's like rushing in at once. We have to be willing to release even our union. That's what, in part, what all this Nine of Autumn is about. We've got to, we're married to like the obsession of divine union, of quote unquote twin flame. I always say if more people knew what it actually meant to be one, they wouldn't want to so badly. And some of us are married to the whole obsession of it. We are codependent on that. We got to separate from that and like release it and not mind being by ourselves. And you can see the difference. Those of you who watched the masculine version of this and are now watching the feminine, you can see the difference. It's what we all, what many of us discuss a lot of the time. When they say, well, why can't the masculine just behave like me? Like this journey is completely different. Why does he have to see somebody else? Well, because that's the way that one goes. Well, what should I be doing in the meantime? Working on yourself. And this is what that means. And it's like coming out, it's like playing out in the cards now. That is, in fact, what we should be doing. I don't know why all that came with the Queen of Spring, but it did. Did I even go over what this means? Don't underestimate your ability to manifest your dreams. You may have several priorities vying for your attention at once, but you can do it. So again, this may be also directing the masculine to maybe rather than the King of Fire, take on the role of the Queen of Fire right now, because I also recently did a video, I think it was 2 general weeklies ago, yet again, illustrating that the feminine is to lead first. We're the king of fire right now. We're the king of fire right now until we hand off the baton. So that can be another meaning for this. And the divine couple is here in the spread with the king of fire and the queen of fire both having shown up. From the animal tarot to the feminine, balance. A lot of Sagittarius energy. I don't know if I pointed that out too, because that was coming in too. I gotta like hold stuff back sometimes. And then like try to remember to mention it to you. So the wheel, I said, represents the planet Jupiter for me, which rules the sign of Sagittarius. The wheel and Sagittarius go hand in hand. Right next to it, I have my Sagittarius card from the romance angels, right? You are lovable. This looks like Cupid to me, who is a Sagittarius. So the forgiving and learning essentially will elevate us, prepare us for this point where we are deserving and ready for love with past life relationship, right? Divine partner with whom we are reconciling. If we're not in separation, then this means an ascension of the relationship, engagement. Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. Right? We're still coming closer together. We're coming into balance, because also I mentioned with those twos of pentacles or earth, balance was also an issue. This is temperance, which is another karmic energy of the universe, a very healing one at that. And that's probably why Raphael was just here again. By merging various points of view, you can generate an extraordinary new idea, compromise with others, and collaborate to discover a better solution. So there's always water in the temperance card, which is interesting for me. It represents the sign of Sagittarius, but in traditional decks, even the angel tarot as well, and certainly the Rider-Waite, it's like an angel standing in water. It looks like Aquarius to me, like the water bearer. Here it's a zebra, but still standing in water. So there may be something going on with Aquarians too here. Because since that needed to come out for whatever reason. But this is about coming into balance. Our masculine and feminine, our inner one, and as a couple, you know, right? The divine masculine, the divine feminine coming together as a unit to form, you know, what would then be a family, an ascended one. The romance angels to the masculine. Chemistry. There's a strong magnetic attraction here. And I'm laughing because they got in their reading the opposite of this. They got the unrequited love. There's not any chemistry here. So this is, you know, as it relates to this column representing the true divine masculine as opposed to our masculine half, it does work here. As it relates to being our masculine half, our chemistry, we again are coming into balance. Our internal chemistry, testosterone and estrogen, right? Pheromones, all coming into balance as part of, you know, this very karmic healing. And lastly, to the feminine, wow, right back where we started. Love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. I just want to make sure that I recapped everything. I think so. I think so. I think it's pretty clear that wherever we are on the journey and in our partnerships, when alone, we're not to panic. We're not to panic. Just because it appears that possibly nothing is going on, that's not necessarily the case. And according to, you know, the cards here, delivered by the angels, that is absolutely not the case at all. There's a lot of movement perhaps behind the scenes, but there's a lot of movement with regard to our reconciliations and removing the distance between us, even if we are, you know, still in physical contact and communication. So what we need to do is continue to work on ourselves as the feminine and to love ourselves first and at all. Right? This is about being able to be with yourself at all in preparation for being able to be with somebody else. Similar to what I said to the masculine, but for different reasons and in a different manner. Because offers of love will be coming toward us. When they come, we got to be ready. If you're still imbalanced, if you still are in a situation where you don't like yourself very much, you won't be ready. So make the effort to get ready in the meantime, as opposed to, you know, maybe, oh, woe is me. I am doubtful. I am over this. I am disappointed. I wish he was here now, even though I don't have my shit together. Okay, I hope that you guys enjoyed this reading and find it helpful in taking you through the rest of December into the new year. If you see this spread anywhere, please know that it is mine, my trademark spread, my trademarked reading style. You know, just in case the wherever you may see it doesn't mention that, because that tends to happen. It's been happening again more and more, which is why I'm mentioning it, because I typically would not. Yes, so you know, if you see a reading like this, this is a Queen of Swords reading. Namaste, angels.